So you're looking for a dog trainer here in Wildomar? That's fantastic. Finding the right person is really the first big step toward having a happier, calmer life with your dog.
So, where do we start? Well, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll look at what makes training in Wildomar unique. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of what makes a trainer great. After that, we'll talk programs and money, cover the local rules you need to know, and then wrap up with the exact questions you should be asking in a consultation. Okay, first up, let's talk about why a local trainer can be such a huge advantage. They know the area. They know what it's like on the trails at the Santa Rosa Plateau, or how busy Marna O'Brien Park gets on a weekend. That means they can help you train for the situations you're actually going to face every day.
I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it? To have a dog who's a relaxed, happy part of your life, whether you're out on an adventure or just chilling at home.
So what really separates a decent trainer from a truly great one? Honestly, it boils down to two main things: their whole approach to training, their philosophy, and their professional qualifications. You're going to hear this term a lot: positive reinforcement. And for good reason. This is really the standard for modern humane training. It's all about teaching your dog what you want them to do by rewarding that good behavior. It builds their confidence and makes them want to work with you.
And this is a really big deal. Training should be about building communication and trust with your dog. Any trainer who suggests using fear or pain is a major red flag. Those methods often just make problems worse and can really break that bond you have with your dog. Okay, what about all those letters after a trainer's name? Do they matter? Yes, they absolutely do. Seeing credentials like these tells you that a person has put in the work, they've studied, they've passed tough exams, and they're committed to professional, science-backed methods. All right, so you know what to look for in a trainer's approach. Now let's get into the practical side of things, like figuring out what kind of training program is right for you and what you should expect to pay around Wildomar. Each of these has its own place, If you're working on basic manners and want your dog to learn around other dogs, a group class is perfect. But if you have a specific problem at home, like barking at the door, then one-on-one private lessons are probably your best bet. Of course, it helps to have a rough idea of the cost so you can plan ahead. So, let's take a look at the typical price ranges for these different options right here in our area.
As you can see, there's a pretty wide range. It just depends on how intensive the training is. This kind of breakdown helps you match the level of support you need with what fits into your budget.
Having a well-behaved dog is also about being a good neighbor and a responsible member of the community. So, let's quickly go over some key local rules and a few great spots where you can practice all those new skills.
6 feet. Yep, that's the magic number here. It's the maximum leash length you're allowed to have in public spaces throughout Wildomar and Riverside County. It's a simple rule, but it's all about keeping everyone safe.
And here are a few other local requirements to keep in mind. Things like licensing your dog and making sure vaccinations are up to date. A well-trained dog, especially one who doesn't bark excessively, makes being a responsible owner so much easier.
And you can't just practice in the house, right? You've got to take those skills out into the real world. Places like these local parks are perfect for practicing polite leash walking and focusing around everyday distractions.
Now, what about some off-leash time? This is super important for practicing recall and just letting your dog have some fun. With Wildomar's dog park currently under renovation, it's good to know where the next best options are.
The dog parks in Lake Elsinore and Murrieta are great alternatives. Just a quick tip, always check out the posted rules before you unclip that leash, just to make sure it's a safe and fun time for everyone. Okay, you've done all your homework. You found a few trainers that look promising. Now for the final step. That initial phone call or meeting. Let's make sure you're armed with the right questions to ask. Think of this as your interview checklist. If you go into that conversation and cover these 5 points, you'll walk away with a really clear picture of who they are, how they work, and whether they're the right fit for you and your dog.
We really wish you the best of luck in your search. Finding that right training partner opens up a whole new world. It makes life at home more peaceful, walks around town more fun, and visits with friends and family so much less stressful for absolutely everyone.